Today, we're going to dive into a really simple story that honestly has a huge lesson. It's all about how one tiny shift in how you look at things can completely change your world. It's a journey from feeling totally buried by stress to finding this incredible, life-changing gratitude.
You know that feeling, right? Where it just feels like everything is piling on, one thing after another, and you're just overwhelmed. It's like you're carrying all this weight on your shoulders. Well, that is exactly where our story kicks off. So let's meet the main character of our story. He's a man who was feeling exactly that. Just totally stuck. Stuck in this loop of stress, frustration, and the massive pressure of his day-to-day life. And this pressure, well, it had to go somewhere. You know how that is. It started to boil over, and he found himself lashing out at his wife, at his kids, over really small stuff, things that didn't even matter.
So, what was really eating at him? Well, first, there was the money thing, the feeling that he was the only one footing the bill for everything. Then you've got the emotional weight of being responsible for his entire family. And the cherry on top, friends and family were always visiting, which sounds nice, but to him, it just felt like another thing he had to deal with.
All right, so one evening, he's just simmering with all this frustration. And this is the moment, the one that changes everything. His son comes up to him, super innocent, and asks for help with his homework. And the man, he's at his wit's end, and he just snaps, tells his son to go away. A little while later, the anger starts to fade, and that familiar wave of guilt just washes over him. He goes into his son's room, and there he is, fast asleep, still clutching his little homework notebook. And something, a mix of regret and maybe just curiosity, made him pick it up.
He opens the notebook and reads the title of the assignment. And it's so simple, but wow, is it powerful. It says, "Write about things we don't like at first but are good for us later."
So he starts reading what his son wrote, and the first point, it's just brilliant. The son says he's thankful for final exams, the thing every kid hates, because he knows that right after them comes the amazing freedom of the holidays.
Then he reads the next one. His son is writing about bitter medicine. He's actually thankful for that awful taste because he gets it. That's the stuff that makes him healthy again. But then comes this one, a total perspective shift on something we all hate, the alarm clock. To his son, that annoying ringing wasn't a problem. It was proof. It was the sound that told him he was still alive and got to have another day. And then he read the line that just hit him like a ton of bricks. His son wrote that he was thankful for his father's scolding, the very thing the man felt so terrible about, because he saw it as helping him. And then this last part just took his breath away. He was just happy to have a father because his friend Rohan didn't.
Reading those words, in that one moment, it was like a switch flipped in his brain. Like he'd been asleep and just woke up. His son's incredibly wise perspective just completely shattered his own negative way of seeing things.
And he didn't just sit there. He had to do something. Right then and there, he grabbed a pen and a piece of paper, and he started to list out all the things that were making him so miserable. But this time, he was going to try and see them through his son's eyes.
And this is where the magic happens. His first problem, I have to pay for everything. He reframed it, wait a minute, this means I have a home and I have a good job. His next burden, I have to take care of my whole family. The new perspective, this means I have a family. I'm not alone in this world.
And finally, he got to that annoyance of always having visitors. He realized it wasn't a chore at all. It was proof that people cared about him, that he had a place in their hearts, that he had a support system for the good times and the bad. And as he put the pen down, the feeling that washed over him was just immediate. It wasn't just some mental trick. It was a deep, emotional release. He felt light. He felt free. That crushing weight he'd been carrying around for who knows how long, it was just gone. And he looked up and just thanked God, not for fixing his problems, but for fixing his eyesight, for helping him see the incredible blessings that were right in front of him the whole time. So, what's the big takeaway here? It's pretty amazing when you think about it. Our worries often aren't solid things. They exist because of the negative lens we're looking through. The second you change that lens, the problem itself can just disappear.
Now, this is more than just a nice story. It's a real tool you can use. So let's talk about how to bring this lesson into our own lives.
Think about how often we do this. We steal our own peace by looking at people who seem to have more. A bigger house, a better job, whatever.
We fall into that comparison trap. This story is such a powerful reminder to look the other way, to focus on what we do have, not on what we think we're missing. So I'll leave you with this question to really think about. What's one burden in your life right now? A stress, a responsibility, something that just bugs you? What if you tried to look at it through new eyes? Could it actually be one of your biggest blessings? And that's really what it all boils down to. The way forward isn't about getting rid of all our challenges. It's about changing how we see them. It's about finding gratitude, being patient with ourselves, and using that new perspective to keep moving forward.